This is a polite decline. I'm not going to say rejection, a polite decline when I, via a mutual acquaintance, close friend of mine, Jeffrey Zarofsky, reached out to see if you would participate in my book, Tribe of Mentors. And the beauty was your response ended up being incredibly valuable as a polite decline. So I'm going to be paraphrasing a bit, but this is what I received. And it was via Jeffrey, who was acting as the Yenta/intermediary. Jeffrey, greetings and thanks for writing. I'm grateful for the invitation to participate in Tim's next book project, but I'm struggling at this moment to make time ends meet for all we're doing at USHG, including my ongoing procrastination with my own writing projects. I thought carefully about this, and it's clearly a wonderful opportunity, but I'm going to decline with gratitude. Know the book will be a big success! ! Thanks again, Danny. So this is so noteworthy for me because there are many ways you can decline something that are likely to upset someone or don't do anything to offset the potential for someone being upset. I came away from receiving this just laughing and wanting to get better at writing polite declines because I felt better about you. I respected you more after receiving that. How did you learn to write? How did you improve or develop your written communication?
I can't believe you pulled that letter out. That's wild. And you know what? I do that almost every day. But I wouldn't do it if it weren't genuine. I wouldn't have gone to the trouble of saying all that stuff if it weren't genuine. You know.
Yeah.
I've always loved writing. My dad was an amazing editor. He was actually the managing editor of the newspaper at Princeton, the Daily Princetonian, and he took great pride in marking up anything I ever wrote. You know, I care. I love writing. I love expressing myself. But I think more to your point, it's not the quality of the writing as much as it is the sentiment behind it, which is that if somebody, it gets back to what we were saying earlier, if somebody cared enough to reach out their hand and say, I want to shake hands with you. That's what that was. Or they reach out to give you a hug. What are you going to do? Just become a tree and not hug them back? And I think that I've learned a very, very important lesson. In fact, I'd be curious, and you'll probably know, I care so much about letting someone know if I do appreciate an invitation, but I just genuinely can't do it. I care that they know that their invitation mattered to me, so much so that I sometimes procrastinate writing that note. And I've learned the hard way that sometimes my mind and my heart are at war with each other. My mind knows I shouldn't do it. My heart really wants to do it. And if that translates to making you or Jeffrey wait too long to get that response, it doesn't really matter what I wrote. So I'm really curious to know when Jeff's invitation came and how many days went by before I responded. My bet is more days than there should have been.
I don't have the dates, but I'll take a look. Has your approach to that type of polite decline changed over time? Do you have other language that you like to use? And again, this is not to imply, to your point earlier, that this is disingenuous. Like the assumption is made, and I believe that it's genuine.
And it's really hard.
But have you found
it's just really hard.
It is hard.
It takes time because, you know, what most people do, sadly, is they just delete the invitation or they just ignore it. So I think it kind of falls into a couple of camps here. So number one is this something I really want to do? Number two, if I really want to do it, can I do it? So that's easy. Look at your calendar. And number three, is this something that I feel like I should do? And then of the shoulds, there's another couple buckets, which is it a should because I have to, or is it because a should because it's good, right? I've gotten into most trouble on the shoulds. If I really, really want to do something, like I really wanted to have this conversation with you today. I'm the guy that reached out to you. And I love when I get a spark of something that I really want to do. But many, many times the invitations come in, I get a lot from politicians. We support this or that. I get a lot from, speaking opportunities, etc. And I'm not complaining. I'm very, very fortunate. But if it's a should, I learned this lesson from the restaurateur Jeremy King, who's in London, great guy. And he said, the shoulds are what have gotten me in the most trouble. And I asked myself a simple question. If this thing were tonight, because it's generally something, 4, 5, 6 months from now, but if this thing were tonight, is this something I would be excited to do, or would I roll my eyes and go, oh man, look what I have to do tonight? And so by making it in the very present, that's really helped me a lot with the shoulds. And then I just feel like it's not my obligation to say yes to everybody, but I do care. I genuinely care. If somebody had the courtesy to invite me to do something, they deserve the courtesy of a gracious response. All they're guilty of is saying, I'm interested in you. How bad is that? That's a compliment.